We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Tonight we wrap up an intriguing Week 2 with a good Monday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. A former Seminole back home in Florida, it's Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, they held them to well under 200 yards of total offense, and in today's NFL, that's a feat to be proud of, especially with the emphasis on offense and what we're seeing each and every week, that great creativity and usual productivity.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, here's Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. To throw, Cousins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. First down, here's the run with Cook. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Again, it's Cook. They find some open field here. They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. The fullback dive held up short. And this defense holds on the Knights' opening drive. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they've got to make sure that they don't lose their focus.
They go play action here on first down. That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
A good throw there, and this is a quarterback who's still just getting his feet wet, obviously. And by most accounts, last week played okay in the victory. But I want to know, Charles, what was your impression of his play last week?
Brandon, I think a lot of teams will be happy with okay, and early on, it's less about how many touchdowns did he throw, but did he not throw interceptions? Did he handle adversity? Did he handle the huddle? Those types of things, that's what people are looking for.
Now left side on the swing pass. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Looking to throw. Green. And that'll be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw again. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down.
Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Cook. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now here's a pass on first down. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be third and forever. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
They're certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. They're going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Buccaneers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The Bucs at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. And now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him.
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Well, following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22.
He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 41, Cousins. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets them on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
That's a pretty darn good start to this season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. They're going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And taken at the 46. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Throwing on 1st down. Green. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 1st down, Green. They'll go up the middle with White. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Back to throw. Green. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun. Green. Touchdown! Cade Otton. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs go up by 2 touchdowns. His first career touchdown pass. And, yeah, it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment. Enjoy the time. Celebrate. Save the full reflection for later. But make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
They go play action. Cousins. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster. And we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out of it, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big...
They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
I think he thought he had his first read open on that one, but they were obviously ready for that throw, and that's just a lack of experience showing. Young quarterback stared his man down the whole way, and they were more than happy to sit on that route and bring home the INT.
Following the interception, Cousins.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson
from 17 yards out.
And the Vikings are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
No problem there on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Green. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Green. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
And Brandon, how many times have we talked with these rookies out there, and then we finally hear from them that the game slowed down and they're able to handle things? Not so far for this rookie, because right now, back-to-back drives, they picked him off. Not college football anymore. He's got to find a way to handle what these defenses throw at him.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway from the 10. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Read option. This is White.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
To throw is Green. To throw on second down. And this is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
Green down to throw on 3rd down. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 23. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
41 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They go right back to White here on first down. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's White. They set up the screen. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Green. And that is incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard, and while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
To throw is Cousins.
And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Cousins now. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Cousins gives way to Cook, and they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to make it 4th down. Throwing is Cousins. Touchdown! T.J. Hockenson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. The extra point up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Past the 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they looked up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. It's complete to Cook. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
It's a gain of 20. And the Vikings first down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First down, here's Cousins. He finds his man, complete. That's Cox. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The end result, 21 yards.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Again, it's Cousins. Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. And defensively, maybe an opportunity missed there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. And big sigh of relief, huh?
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles, there's open space around for the defense, but not there. He hops right back on it.
Again, it's Cook. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Cook will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. Cousins will try and throw. And they're going to get the two. It's caught. And the lead is cut to 2 here in the fourth.
Vikings 22.
Waste of time.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times.
He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. They get the guard out of Georgia Tech, Shaq Mason. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Green. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A gain there of 30 big ones.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. They defer to White out of the...
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Meanwhile, Cousins' throw taken in by Hockenson here. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And the Vikings first down.
Cousins again.
Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. And the Bucs have just about sewn up this football game. And that's now a half dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. Because CD, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you presented, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. He finds his man, complete. It's McDonald. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
First down, here's White. Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. They stay on the ground with White. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. They run straight ahead here with White. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay.
Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for Tampa Bay, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.